Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0, and for another season we're coming away from the bridge with nothing to our name. One of the more frustrating officiating performances that I've seen in a good long while. I don't think I've ever felt quite so worn out, so stressed after watching a game of football in my own front room. Diego Costa, I don't even know where to start. The guy got away with about 4 or 5 red card challenges today, and he remains on the pitch. He completed almost the full 90 minutes, and it's just disgraceful from Mike Dean. It is absolutely terrible, diabolical officiating, and it has completely ruined a good game of football. As Garth Crook said on BBC Sport, he wants to be the centre of attention, he wants everyone to look at him, but people don't pay good money to go and watch bald-headed Mike Dean. It is an absolute joke what has happened today. I do feel robbed, I feel a bit cheated. This was a very good game of football up until the 45 minute when Gabriel got sent off. Diego Costa is going to be laughing his head off in the Chelsea changing room this afternoon because Gabriel has fallen right into his trap and Costa has got away with so many indecent challenges. I was really excited going into this game actually because despite the loss against Zagreb in midweek, I never feel confident going into the bridge, but the fact that we started with a team that put 2 goals past Stoke City, that actually played a very good game of football last weekend, I thought it would be a good game and we could rival Chelsea. And for the first opening 10-15 minutes, we looked like a very good team. We were making some good movement going forward. Defensively, we were sound. Chelsea weren't creating much. I can't think of any real clear-cut chances that they created throughout the course of the match. I thought Walcott was cutting behind the lines, doing some really good work there. Alexis Sanchez was getting into some good positions. Ozil throwing some good passes. Coughlin was outstanding for the time that he was on the pitch. He made such a massive difference to our play when he was taken off at half time. I sincerely hope that he doesn't have a long-term injury because that second half just evidenced how crucial and important he is to our Arsenal team. I'd go as far as saying that Coughlin is our most important player and he plays on confidence, and like I say, he was one of the more important players and the better players in that first half for Arsenal. I thought Ramsey playing on that right-hand side did a fairly decent job for the time that we actually were enjoying possession of the ball, which was pretty much about a 20-minute spell of that first half. But we did have chances. We got into some good positions. Walker had a few good chances, but we weren't able to put the ball in the back of the net, which I have to say I did kind of expect because Chelsea away from home, no matter how poor they've been, it was always going to be difficult to score against them. They brought in Kurt Zouma for John Terry. I think that made a big difference for them. Typically, Ivanovic actually had a good game when they play against us. The same goes for Fabregas as well. Hazard turned up for about the last 10 minutes of the game when we went down to 9 men, which is a little bit suspect. But overall, this was a Chelsea team that were there for the taking. We couldn't take advantage of that when we had chances too. I do think going into that second half, if we still had 11 men on the pitch, it would have been a totally different game. But that red card has completely deflated us. I think the first talking point of that first half is the blatant Diego Costa dive, which was his first offence in the game. Should have been a yellow card, trying to get Coughlin in the book. Coughlin doesn't even touch him. And Costa, who's almost twice the size of Coughlin, just falls to the ground. And that's not a yellow card. I hate this saying as well that the people on BT Sport were saying that it's too early to give a yellow card. No, it's not. If it's a yellow card offence, it should happen at any time in the game. What does the time matter? And that should have been a card in my opinion. Costa gets away with his first challenge of the match. Well, not challenge, but descent of the match, which was disappointing. And that wasn't the first time Costa dived in the match. He made another one in the penalty box in the second half, I think, trying to get Bellerin in the book. So that was the first real talking point of the match. The second one is the Gabriel challenge on Eden Hazard. Now, he's trying to hurry the ball out. He's trying to see it out, get it past the line, and hopefully it'll be our goal kick. And they were saying that Gabriel pushes Hazard and it could have been a penalty. Whatever way you look at it, it could very easily have been a penalty. It's a 50-50 one at the time. It could have been given, and from the view of Mike Dean, it did look like good challenging from Gabriel. And it does look like he pushes Hazard over. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. It does look like he does give a push on Eden Hazard, and it could have been a penalty. But at the same time, Hazard's got his hand wrapped around Gabriel, and he could be pulling him down. So there's two ends of the spectrum on that one. It wasn't given as a penalty. Chelsea fans obviously livid at that one, as you would expect. But still 0-0, still a very good game at this point. Chelsea had a good 10-15 minute spell of possession, but not doing anything really clear-cut. Pedro was doing some good work for them down their right-hand side. Oscar, Hazard, etc. were playing some good football. It was very intricate, but no end product, similarly to how we'd been at the other end of the pitch. But then controversy really sparked off in about the 45th minute, and this is when the Diego Costa debacle really does start. First of all, there's the hands over Koscielny's face. If that's not a red card, then honestly, I don't know what is. That is just disgusting play from Costa. It's unneeded as well. Completely unneeded. 2 hands over Koscielny's eyes and face. got no words to sum up really. And not only that, but he slaps him around the face on the way back, and then he gets up and not pushing him, but chests him onto the floor. So that's 1, 2, 3 red card offences in one go there. Potential red card offences, and if not a yellow as well. And then Gabriel gets involved, and Gabriel didn't need to get involved, but he's sticking up for his teammates. Something I like. We haven't had someone with that tenacity since Vieira, since like Adams, since Keown, and I like that about Gabriel. But it did cost him, as we saw later on. He did get the yellow card because he got so heavily involved with Costa, and there was the handbags there. Costa swipes at his neck, and you can see the scratch marks on Gabriel's neck, which was in a few pictures, which I'll leave on the screen right now. And they're both given yellow cards, and you think that's the end of the matter, nothing much more should go on. But Costa is antagonising Gabriel. Gabriel, as a professional, it is poor from Gabriel, and he should have paid no attention to it whatsoever. But he falls into Costa's trap, he kicks out at him, and he's given a second yellow card. And, you know, you can't complain because it is a yellow card and he should have been sent off. But if you're going to send Gabriel off, send off Costa as well because of the challenges that he's made. Not only is he constantly harassing the referee, but also the dive he made, the second dive he made in the second half, the 3 potential red card challenges that he made on Koscielny. In the space of about 5 seconds, he made about 3 or 4 challenges that were red cards. And it's disgusting that Mike Dean hasn't sent him off. And it creates a whole debacle when it creates that going into the second half. Just leaves me with very little hope. Gabriel's sent off down the tunnel. Coquelin comes off with an injury. Our 2 most important leadership-like players on the pitch are gone, and there was no leadership within the team. And it annoys me that when Gabriel was getting sent off, Cazorla failed to deal with the incident properly. And I've mentioned Cazorla because he was our captain on the day, didn't show professional leadership skills that I would have expected of a captain, and as he's our 3rd choice captain, you can kind of see why he's that low down in the pecking order. And this is a team that lacks leaders and has done for some time now. We really do miss a Keown, a Vieira, a Tony Adams type of player. I wish we had someone in our ranks like that, but unfortunately we don't have someone to wrap our arm around Gabriel and say, look, calm down, leave Costa, he's trying to wind you up. We don't have anyone like that, and this is why it's costing us. It cost Giroud in the game in midweek, it's costing us here. And how long is it going to go on for? Because we've got no one that is willing to step up. I feel that Wilshere, despite like what you say about him, he's tenacious, he's a player that I think would have backed Gabriel up, but he's also a player that would put his arm around him and tell him to calm down. We do miss like a 6'4" English centre-half who's going to tell everyone to calm down, but we don't have that at the moment. We don't have a proper captain on the pitch, and I think even if Arteta was on the pitch, like he maybe could have calmed down this incident, but it was disappointing going into that second half when your 2 most influential and key players in the defensive department have been taken off, and we were playing good football up until the second half. And it started in the worst possible fashion because we conceded in about the 50th minute through Kurt Zouma. Fabregas, of all people, delivering a lovely weighted free kick. Zouma heads it down, completely unmarked, Koscielny keeping him onside, and it goes in the near post past Petr Cech, who maybe could have done better. 1-0 down, and it's game over really, isn't it? We're all thinking it. Because at 10 men, away from home at the Bridge, 1-0 down, you're not going to get back into the game. Not when you're Arsenal, not in the way that we play. I have no confidence in us when we go a goal down to come back and win a game 2-1. Whether it be at Stamford Bridge or not. It's an incredibly difficult feature for us to do, and we didn't pull it off today, as was evidenced. I don't think Chelsea were overly convincing today. The worrying thing is just that we've given them an opportunity to bounce back into the title race now. We're still 3 points above them. We've got winnable games coming up against the likes of Leicester. I really hope we beat Man United at home, but that won't be so easy now considering we've got no Gabriel. I just hope that we're able to bounce back from this and just generally get something from these upcoming games, because for a tough run of September and October fixtures, this is the worst possible way we could have started it. And we've got the North London derby next. We've really got to get something out of that game. If there's one team I'm confident we can beat, I am confident that we can put a couple of goals past Spurs and hopefully beat them. But I don't want us rotating in that game. I don't want us doing what we did against Zagreb. We've got to go all out for that, get our confidence and belief back. Then we've got a tough game away from home at Leicester, and it's just we've got to be getting points on the board. We've got to be looking that little bit more convincing. But I mean, just getting back to the game itself today, second half, not too much to report on. Chamberlain and Giroud came on, and I think Chamberlain was at the end of another Diego Costa incident, because Costa seemed to give him a bit of a push or a shove, and then he seemed to lash out his boot in, which was completely unneeded. And Costa again getting away with another challenge. And I sincerely hope the FA look into what Costa has done today, because it's just not good enough really. The officiating was really diabolical today, and we've been at the poor end of it. We've been at the back end of it, and we've come away with nothing in a game that if it had been 11 versus 11, maybe it would be a different story. And this was our best chance to beat Chelsea, but as it stands, they've been given a new lease of life. They've got a new drive going into the season. This has kick-started their campaign, definitely. Their players are probably going to come back into form now. Fabregas will start playing better. Hazard, for the last 10 minutes of the game after Cazorla got sent off, he had a good cameo spell, but apart from that, he didn't do anything in the game. And Cazorla got sent off as well. Yeah, let's just talk about that for a moment. 2 yellow cards, and I'm not even going to argue them because I think they were deserved. He was unfortunate, but a player of his experience, having the captain's armband, not really leading by example today, and unfortunately put in 2 challenges that were worthy of yellow cards, and he's going to miss the game against Spurs in midweek now. So that's going to be a big loss to us. But it's a chance for Ramsey to play through the middle. That's the only positive I can take. Callum Chambers coming on as well. I thought he did a decent job for the time he was on the pitch. Didn't let himself get wound up by Diego Costa. But the bottom line is I think this team is too soft. We've got a very soft team. I want to see more leaders on the pitch. I don't want us getting bullied so much by players like Diego Costa. And we've been at the back end of it today. We really have. It's a 2-0 loss away from home, of course. Hazard got a deflected goal, which I don't particularly want to mention. But 2-0 at the Bridge is not a good result. It doesn't leave me with much confidence going into these upcoming games, but I do really feel like we've been hard done by today. I find it hard to blame Wenger. I find it hard to blame the players because up until half-time we were playing good football. We were really in the game and we were unfortunate. But, I mean, there's no real excuses for the referees today. Like I said, I just hope we can bounce back. That's the kind of constant theme that I can take out today. And it's exactly the same as what I said against the game against Zagreb, but I'm talking about another loss now. You just onwards and upwards, hopefully, but it hasn't. This tough run of fixtures really hasn't started off in the right way. But anyway, those were my thoughts on a game that was bitterly disappointing today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do want to cheer me up, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV and do make sure to check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. As always, thank you for watching.